1,000.
I have 1,000. Who'll give me 11?
1,100.
1,100. Do I hear 12?
1,200.
1,200. Going once.
Ellie had spotted it because her grandfather had taught her to spot it. The hair pattern on the hoof wall. The way the bull carried his head. The specific angle of the limp, which was deeper than a joint problem would produce, but shorter in duration between steps. She had written it all down. She had a 4-page entry in her notebook on this one bull. She had also written down the pedigree Redwood 412 was out of a cow line that had produced 3 state fair champions, which meant that as a sound breeding bull, his genetic value was not $1,700. It was closer to $9,000 or $10,000. She knew all of this before she bought her bidder number. The auction started at 10. The auctioneer was a man named Bob Teasley, from Newton. He had been selling cattle for 38 years, and he had a voice that could fill the barn without a microphone, though he used one anyway. The heifers went first, then the cow-calf pairs. The pace was steady. The prices were what you would expect for good Herefords in a quiet market. Around 11:40, they brought in the first of the 3 bulls. Hollis Redbud 388, a clean 4-year-old, sold for $4,900 to a buyer from Osceola. The crowd murmured its approval. That was a fair price. The second bull, Hollis Ranger 401, sold for $5,600 to the same buyer. Then they brought Redwood 412 into the ring. You could hear the mood of the barn shift. Not harsh, just flat. Men who had been leaning in on the rails leaned back. A few looked at their phones. Somebody in the 3rd row made a joke about hamburger. Teasley, up in the auctioneer's box, read the catalog entry quickly, and then said, in the mild voice auctioneers use when they already know a lot, is not going to bring much. All right, let's see what we've got on this one. Who'll start me at 2,000? Nobody moved. 1,500? Nobody moved. All right, let's start realistic. 1,000? Anybody 1,000? Near the back, a man raised his number. He was a meat buyer from Cedar Rapids. He was there for exactly this kind of animal. 1,000? I've got 1,000. Who'll give me 11? The meat buyer was the only one bidding. He took it to 1,050, then 1,100, then 1,150. Nobody was challenging him. Teasley was running down a one-sided auction, the way auctioneers do when the outcome is obvious, and the bull was about to sell for around $1,300. Then a small voice from the rail said, Teasley paused. He leaned forward to see who had spoken. He saw a girl in an oversized coat, holding up a paper number with a careful, steady hand. He smiled, the way you smile at a child at a county fair. He said, Well, all right, young lady, 1,500. Is that your dad bidding? Ellie said clearly, No, sir. That's me. There was laughter, not loud, but it moved through the barn in a wave. Heads turned. Men nudged each other. Somebody said, Oh, this ought to be good. The meat buyer in the back grinned and raised his number. 16. Ellie said, 17. 18. 19. The meat buyer paused. He looked at her. He was not going to be made a fool of by a child, but he was also not going to pay more than meat price for a lame bull. He raised again. 2,000. Ellie said, 2,100. This was the moment Curtis Lamb, the man from Tama, said he saw something shift. He said Ellie wasn't looking at the meat buyer. She wasn't looking at the crowd. She was looking at the bull. She was watching how he stood in the ring. She was confirming, one more time, what she already knew.